Yeah, I mean, I've turned it on. Just pointed in a direction where there's something interesting happening.
Okay.
Like some of the ones I have, like Watson. Right.
I think the most interesting thing right now is this.
I see.
You see?
Yeah, you can kind of scan the crowd.
I went to that. I don't think there's ever really a good time. You just kind of jump into it. I mean, there'll always be like that I'm too busy time.
That's it. Especially this one.
Now, don't get the wrong idea. We don't do this for every call, just for
It's only time you
yeah. I don't want you to be disappointed.
You were expecting the same for your next birthday, eh? So this is a new pathologist who has just joined us, and he and I just met today. We could have met in 2008, but
I made a big mistake.
we didn't.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to work it out. Some people no luck.
Same thing.
Hey, my goodness!
We know each other,
You do?
but we didn't recognize each other.
Found this guy lost and wandering around outside the dean's office after my meeting.
Did I mention that you're there?
Well, thank you very much for coming. The average age of the people here is very low as a consequence of these guys. There's a rumor on campus that I'm like a really good guy to work with, and everybody else you might work with as a first or second or third year undergraduate requires you to kill something or a lot of something, like mice, rats, rabbits. And the fact that I could offer them something where they didn't have to kill anything was just like so remarkable.
It's already dead, all the stuff you got to work with.
I didn't
If
really
you were
talk
on
to-
the West Coast, what you would be awarded with would be a copper.
I
You know,
see.
in a potlatch.
Yes.
And the Queen, Elizabeth II, had her 90th birthday, and you're celebrating a birthday at the same time. I have a copper for you. Every child in school in 1953 was given a commemorative coin for the coronation
Isn't
of
that
Queen
wonderful?
Elizabeth. So there's the happy birthday, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, totally good.
You know, if it were a penny, the copper would be worth more than the face value.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Gotta get a picture with lights good, Kim, to put into my records.
And I of you, yeah. So it's a mutual effort here.
There we go.
So
Picture
are
taking.
you rushing home to the little woman who wants you to be at the dinner table?
Oh, eventually, yeah.
But we
You
have
know where
food
your
from
bread's
every continent, every culture here. So
Oh, yeah.
I come here to jab.
okay. Well,
I'll put it back to my back.
Crossing, I'm going to close it on the cake.
Let's go ahead.
Thank you.
this evening promises to be exactly like that.
Kim, turn around. Come on.
I've seen your poetry at my optometrist office. What other offices around town have
Yes,
your words of
yes,
wisdom?
yes. I'm aware that my poetry does hang in some optometry offices. And in fact, the optometrist
is on his way?
Is the yeah, that's a figurine. We're going to give that optometrist tomorrow.
Oh, neat.
Because he's having a root canal tonight. So
He is.
I'm doing something very pleasant. He's doing something very unpleasant. So we're going to give
Dr.
him
McQueen?
that optometrist.
Dr. McQueen?
Yes, Dr. McQueen is having root canal surgery tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
There's no better place than Edmonton, let me tell you.
You don't.
Yeah, I know. I phoned the lady, she's like, like, 94. She's like, we only take cash, and I was like, great. Totally forgot about Chinese restaurants. Oh, yeah. Times of Oh, it's right, you guys are right there, yeah.
33 bar.
Pretty close. Sorry, but
It resolves in like the end, so we flat at C time.
yeah, like the closest option resolve like the closest option you have is everyone was like
They're hard. That sounds extremely hard. Huh? Do the hits? Oh, yeah. Sure, that's gonna be fun. I guess those play love.
Going to beach now.
But you have to use the rules. Now you can decide and both.
Well, they do nowadays, because I have to use life tape to save it for well awkward.
Yes. Yeah. They're two. That so they.
Does that sound quiet or loud or? Yeah? Because by the time the whole band's playing first, it's hard to tell without like monitors exactly how you'll receive it.
Yeah. Totally fine.
Dr. Solez, how's the food?
It's great. Yes. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
As long as you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it.
We want this, right?
Anyway, just for documentation purposes, you know, the IRS ceases ceases and asks me to fill out any forms. Yeah, totally.
He took me
Oh, mine. So what do I keep?
Okay, so why don't we come inside? Yeah.
Which one good?
Is there anything we
Bill, what? Oh.
That's how you know the food's Yeah, we did
So what did you want to start speaking?
Of course, yeah, go for it.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
Okay, are you ready, Stephen?
Very right.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my 70th birthday party. It's a bit different from the other high-profile ones that you know about. There's extensive documentation of my 60th, where Anne Vereen was the singer. And the cool thing about that is that she stuck around for the whole evening, even though we were doing like amateur singing, which was really, really remarkable. So you can see her there at the very end. That was, I felt, my 60th birthday was a much better party than anyone ever deserved. Certainly not me. It was really, really fun. And the 61st was in a completely different way, also a lot of fun. Michael Mengel, who's the current chairman, was there at that 61st, and Bob Colvin, who was the well-known kidney pathologist in the field before anybody knew anything about me, and so it's really kind of moving to think about it. He was like it, and then I showed up on the scene and like diminished his existence quite a bit. But he's a very polite guy, and so he's an enjoyable person to hang out with. So you can see us and a bunch of people who were here tonight. Leslie was also there at that 61st birthday. Yeah. And so on. So this is a bit different, but I think probably it may turn out to be the best. And you know that Rudolph Virchow had a fantastic 80th birthday. I mean, this was the biggest news that year, and you know, and so I'm also looking forward to that. So this isn't like the end, you know. We're just sort of building up to that fantastic 80th birthday. I'm going to try to surpass Rudolph Virchow's famous bash from 1901 or whatever it was. So anyway, thank you all for coming. The evening is pretty unscripted, unscheduled, except for one thing, and that is the musical sets. And so we want to keep those musical sets on time, which is very, very, very important. So some of you may not know me very well, know Mallory very well, or you may wonder what's the deal between Mallory Chipman and Kim Solez. And I'll tell you, I've created a lot of stress in her life. Like we have this planned event in London, and I mean, we know a lot of details about it, but it's my responsibility to find the venue, the actual place where we're going to do it, and I have not succeeded in that task yet.
Yet.
And until I do that, Mallory can't quite relax because we don't really have a plan. The other thing is, we got some very good news today, but it's very general, that the Imagineering Institute, which is Adrian David Cheok's entity in Malaysia and London, has indicated to us that they're working on an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, related to our proposal for the Future and All That Jazz events. And I've given them a budget of about 63,000 Canadian for each event, and there could be multiple events in a year, so I mean, this is kind of a big deal. But of course, we don't have the text of the MOU, and so I have no idea what the scale of this thing is, but it's very nice that they're working on that, because once again, it increases the possibilities of Mallory's talent becoming much more widely known and so on. And it'd be wonderful if we had all the details tonight, but we don't, and that's just a little stressful. So anyway, that's the true, deal that like I'm kind of dangling these positive possibilities, but not giving her all the details. That's the way things sit right now tonight. So now you'll be hearing from me again between sets, but now I think we should let the music take over. Roy, welcome. This evening wouldn't have been complete without you. Royland PQ is the most talented improvisational poet in Edmonton, and Mallory, of course, is the most talented improvisational musician. So you get two great improvisers in a room, and no telling what might happen.
Do you want to sit on your
So
walker?
that's it for me, and now I'll let Mallory take over for the first set.
He was so smooth.
my dream. He's running around so fast that I couldn't dream. I felt the rhythm of the silence going in my soul, and that's how I knew we were really alone in the car. I couldn't help the beat within my dream. It was like high. Dancing with him was such a treat. He took me out of the shoulder, do it over and over, and it's like high.
Sorry, one sec. Hey, do you mind if I move this back? It's
Sure.
feeding back a little.
Yeah. I just wanted it out of the sight.
Here, maybe if I just lower it.
Sure.
That'll be safe? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. My name is Mallory Chipman, and here joining me today is Jamie Cooper on drums. Let's hear it for him. Murray Wood on bass. And Brett Hansen on guitar. So, obviously we're here to celebrate Kim's 70th birthday, so we will, need your help singing to him with us a little bit later on, so, you can warm up your vocal cords in the meantime. One moment.
We're just going to sort out this feedback issue. I think it's both.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be a little bit better. So that first tune was one we played by request from the birthday boy, Kim Solez, called Sock Off. And this next one is called Ode to the Unsung Diva, and it goes like this.
Just tell me what you want.
To a dim glow, the lights on stage that flicker out. Her thoughts are spinning about the show. After the hoots and hollers, when the music stops and the silence ends, she sheds her dress and leaves her face, and she takes stride with the rest. But on the stage she is pristine, with her tails piercing at me, seductively wrapping her crown around her finger. But then the curtain closes. She resumes her same old routine. And everyone she passes by, they will never know she's a queen. passes by, they will never know she's a Thank you so much. So we are going to slow things down a little bit and play a tune. I don't know if any of you are fans of Billie Holiday, but I wrote this song sort of as a challenge to myself, saying, if I could write a tune sort of in a style of a song that she would sing, what would it be? And this is what came of that. This is called Days Gone By. But the calendar quickly ran through. Month by month, turn the pages, so I thought we had ages and ages left to spend with you. Do you miss me now that you're back? time for one more tune in this first set, and this is another one by request from Kim. This is a tune that was actually composed by Brett Hansen here. And it's called Little Leaps, and I think Kim particularly likes this one because of the sort of poem, spoken word part in the middle, which I'll be reading a little poem that I wrote that was inspired by the tune itself and its title. So here is Little Leaps.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask Ron Moore to speak. He is a surgeon who, it's hard to say who's received who, what from whom, I guess. Either he can claim to have spent a very large number of years providing tissue for me to interpret or receiving reports from me, whichever way you look at it. But we have that kind of relationship, and we've also have been or are medical leaders and stuff. So, and I think we're both absolutely unpredictable. So I have no idea what he's going to say, but quite interested in whatever it turns out to be. So Ron, thank you.
So this is almost open mic, but not really open mic. As Kim alluded to, we've known each other for quite a long time, and he was telling me out in the hallway that people like to work with him because he doesn't have to torture anything, it's already dead. So Kim has breathed life into this department for a long time. He's been the father of the Banff score, which is utilized widely in transplantation, predicting the ability and how long our kidneys will last, or if our kidneys are in trouble. And he's quantified it in a way that's been adopted all over the world. And Kim has amazed me, because you come to talk to pathologists and they're living amongst the dead, and they're usually very unique people that study the dead. But they have another complex side to them that you can never predict. And Kim's interest in poetry and Leonard Cohen, and for that matter, computer skills and photography are captured all over the world, and people know him for many different things. So, Kim, happy 70th birthday. Happy I could hear some music, and but I may have to run to save my hide because the wife beckons. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much, Ron. I really had no idea who would come tonight. You know, Facebook statistics just aren't reliable, and they said, you know, 15 people were coming and 9 were maybes. But then I knew a lot of people, particularly in my medical life here, have never been on Facebook and will never be on Facebook, so it's a whole other side of predicting. But no, I'm very honored that you did come, and I think as you look around the room, it's probably hard for you to immediately figure out where all these people would fit into my life, but they do, including, you know, the 18-year-old and so on, who has known me for only a few weeks, but since, as you said, I required her to kill fewer things than anybody else she could work with. So anyway, she has chosen me. Now, what might interest you, just as you're sort of pondering what we do in the workplace? We had a town hall meeting, and I was certain that she would be out of place there, that everybody would feel that she would feel that, and that she would not enjoy going to this lab medicine town hall meeting. And I was absolutely wrong. She loved it. She thought this was greater drama than you could see on TV or the movies. This was fantastic. You know, she's trying to figure out what adult life is all about. And boy, that meeting in just about 60 minutes taught her everything she ever needed to know. So that's one of the things that I like about working with young people, are those sorts of counterintuitive surprises. And they're constant in my life. I share that room with people between the ages of 18 and 29, 30, and so every day, surprising and fun things happen. And I am also quite proud that I'm in such a unique work life. I don't think anybody, there's no senior medical school faculty member like me anywhere who's sharing a room like that. And why does it work? Well, where's Corey Fung? So as Corey says, the young people sort of roll in about 10:30. So I get like 2 or 3 hours in the morning where this beautiful room with wonderful art and artifacts is just mine. and I can dictate and do all sorts of boring stuff, and doesn't bother anybody. And just about the time that I'm getting tired of that, then the young people come, and the character of what goes on there changes. But it is really fun, and it keeps me young like you wouldn't believe. So anyhow, so I wanted to tell you a little bit more about what Mallory and I are up to with this Future and All That Jazz initiative. It goes back to the course I teach on technology and the future of medicine, and Rich Sutton. Now, there was a very high-profile meeting in Puerto Rico in January 2015 about the future coevolution of human beings, us, and machines. And there were 79 people there, and 78, including very famous people, Elon Musk and so on, are all in favor of enslaving sentient AI. And as you know, historically, for human beings, slavery hasn't been a terribly successful mode of being. But anyway, that is the plan, and that's the plan that Bill Gates has espoused, and a whole host of other famous people. So Rich Sutton holds the belief that when machines are as smart as we are, we should be kind and honest with them. We should include them in our circles of empathy. We should not enslave them. We should realize that we're not top dog anymore, that sometimes they'll be better at things, sometimes we'll be better at things, and that we can help each other for a very, very long period. And if you think about it, that's the only survival strategy, because people who are planning enslavement of something smarter than we are, ultimately these machines will outsmart us, and because we've really, really pissed them off, this enslavement plan, they will probably do us in, and they'll be capable of doing that. So really what Mallory and I are doing is taking that message and making it palatable, making it something that the person who would never sit through a lecture on this, for whom it just is not going to happen, that they'd sit still and listen to this message about how we should co-evolve with sentient machines. Those same folks would listen to that message if it's in poetry or song or sound bites of a kind that they're familiar with in their entertainment life. And so that's what we're doing. And it was very interesting when I booked the time off for this. I booked it off as work. And I'm very interested to see this guy's challenge. It is work in the sense that it is related directly to the course that I teach. But on the other hand,
What were the dates of that?
somebody could say, is this pathology? Well, when somebody in our field does something general for the faculty that is not pathology, usually we think that's good if they're chosen for something that sort of goes beyond or above or overarching. So in a sense, that's what we're doing. It doesn't really matter. I'm really short of, I hardly ever take any pure vacation. So if this ends up being counted as that, that's fine. That would probably benefit us. But it is true, I think, that we can do a lot of good here, and apparently other people think so too, and that's why we've got this MOU going on with the Imagineering Institute. And lest you think that that is simple, I'm sure all of you listen to the news, and so what I'm about to tell you, you already know, but it's pretty shocking if you don't know. So the Prime Minister of Malaysia accepted in his personal bank account $100 million from the Saudi government. And So it came through the other government-owned bank, not the one that is going to provide the funding to us, but the other. There are only two of them. So it came through the other bank. And so you might think that this would be a problem. Well, the Supreme Court of Malaysia considered this, and they came back with the answer, this is just totally fine. This is not a problem at all. $100 million, Saudi government going into the personal bank account of the Prime Minister, that's just fine. But actually, the people living in the country weren't entirely satisfied with this. So there's been a bit of, let us say, turmoil. And our proposal to fund the future and all that jazz that sort of was delayed a little bit by this $100 million snafu with the Prime Minister. But luckily we seem to have come through it, and we'll have an answer in a week. So am I comfortable with a country in which things like that happen? Not 100%. But anyway, you can't always have everything completely normalized for everything that you're doing. So I also wanted to recognize Phil Jagger and Roy and Diana and so on. And okay, Danny Zip. And I hope I haven't left out any poets. Whew, I think I successfully named them all. Unless your mother is a poet.
She is.
But we should wish her a happy birthday as well.
So it's also your birthday, right?
Yes.
Yes. And I have gotten the impression from some of Danny's videos that being Danny's parent might have, on a rare occasion, been a bit challenging. So I kind of, commiserate with you.
Oh, thanks a lot, Kim.
Well, it shows that I listen carefully to your videos, including comments about parents. Yeah. So anyway, no, I think that I am a more interesting, more valuable, more insightful, deeper person because of my increasing poetic links. And it's a very interesting addiction. Most of you know I have two serious addictions, but they both seem to be quite positive. At least we can't find any adverse side effects. One is Coke Zero, that I've been seriously addicted to since 2006, when I wrote my first poem that actually mentions Coke Zero. It doesn't mention any people, it just mentions Coke Zero. And but the other addiction is to the Tuesday poetry. That the young people here and I planned this very interesting and rather risky event where they did about a 10-year shortcut. Ordinarily, when you're in high school and begin in university, take you about 12 years before you could go to a pathology meeting and actually present there. But in New Orleans, I was sort of in charge of the meeting, and I thought, oh, what the heck was the worst that could happen if you let undergraduate students speak at a pathology meeting? So as we were preparing for that, I thought, this is such a consequential thing, there's so much at stake, I obviously can't go to poetry. And as Tuesday got closer and closer, I realized that I psychologically could not, I guess there was the rational argument that my life was in balance enough that I could take the time to go to poetry, and things at this upcoming meeting in New Orleans would still be fine. But what I really knew is that I was so much enjoying those Tuesday evenings that I just felt that I had to keep on going. And I did, right up until the moment that we left. And the trip went fine. And nobody asked us any questions. Why such young people? They had a youth-only forum where you could not have any senior people on the papers. And so the students also presented there. And yeah, it worked, didn't it? And they talked about the advantage of listening to young people, which is something that I strongly believe in. Many of you may think of life as being sort of segmented into age segments, and the only logical thing is to hang out with people your own age. And you would quickly recognize that the person speaking to you right now is probably someone who's never hung out with people his own age. So you may be right that that's what I should do, but it's not what I've ever done. So I've hung out with people older and younger, but almost never people of my own age. So I wonder, Roy, you're rather spontaneous. Would you like to come up and say something, or?
Well, can I say my birthday poem?
You certainly can. Come up and honor us with that birthday poem. Yeah. Corey, could you get the power cord for that? It's plugged into the wall right beside the first fax. Yeah. Great.
And I'll try to do it in a Kim style. Okay, so I know a doctor. His name is Kim, and today we will celebrate. And today many will celebrate his birthday with him. Dr. Kim is also a friend, and he's very poetic. Dr. Kim poems are often prophetic. With words, Dr. Kim is very lyrically athletic. His recitations are very energetic. Dr. Kim is a marvelous mentor and leader. I'm sure he's a prolific reader. Listen, and he'll tell you about all that jazz in the future. He says, no worries, your robots won't enslave or shoot you. He's getting younger and wiser by the day. What else about Dr. Kim can I say? Well, he loves to video many interesting things. And to millions, I'm sure, prodigious joy he brings. Happy birthday, Kim.
So, as many of you know, I recently won a mentoring award in the Faculty of Medicine. And you know, I took a chance. I made an assertion that I had no evidence for whatsoever. And that is that when you win something big like this mentoring award, that you could or should leverage that and accomplish a lot of other things that otherwise you just couldn't ever make happen. And it's a rather gutsy thing to do, because when you make a list of things you're going to try to do, people can look at the list and say, well, you actually didn't accomplish any of those things on the list, Dr. Solez. So maybe the most important thing on that list has happened, and that is, and this is very important to me, that although I'm very devoted to the Technology and Future of Medicine course, what I really always wanted to do is to teach medical students directly and with a required course that they all had to take, so I'd reach them all. So I didn't have to worry about, you know, providing a special pitch so that some of the medical students would pay attention, but they would all have to pay attention. So 2 of the first-year medical students came to me and said, listen, you should abandon your efforts to get us to take the existing course. You should instead insist on including in our required courses the important things you're teaching that we should be hearing in your course. And we're telling you this, and we think if you tell the people running those courses that we told you this, that might have a certain force. And that's exactly what happened. So I asked for 2 hours. I said I'd begin with 2 hours in this physicianship course, which is a required course in the first year. But I think you're going to get so hooked on this future stuff that eventually go to 4 and 6 and so on. That was the prediction that I made. And guess what? They gave me 4 hours to start with. So they took like the average of what I was predicting. So in this coming year, I'll be providing 4 hours of futuristic stuff from our course for required medical student teaching. And so I don't know if it was luck or whether it was skill, but anyway, I succeeded in this. And every now and then, when something good like that happens, does increase your confidence that you could do other things. So even though when you hear Mallory's next set, it's absolutely true today that although we have this Future and All That Jazz initiative, and others in the room are also a part of that, we don't know exactly what we're doing or where we're doing it right at the moment. But I'm quite confident that the thing will be very successful in the long run. So you're kind of seeing us at the very beginning of something that I think will turn out to be quite significant and important. Although the exact way it will play itself out, we just don't know as of June 20th, 2016. So now I'm going to ask Mallory to come back and to do the second set, and then we'll do other stuff of a more optional nature. I'll read some poetry and stuff like that afterwards. So once again, Mallory Chipman and her band. Okay, so were you able to?
All right, so I hope those of you remaining are ready to sing a little bit. Because we are all going to, first of all, start the set by singing Happy Birthday to Kim, or Dr. Solez, or whatever you refer to him by. All right, here we go, all together, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kim. Happy birthday to you. Woo, I heard some birthdays. That was great. Happy birthday, Kim.
They stomp on a cable just next.
So we are going to start this set off by playing another one of Kim's requested tunes. This one I played at the first ever sort of gig I did for Kim. This is called Twisted. One, two, three. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head the way he described it. He said it'd be better dead than not. I could listen to his guide. I knew all along that he was all wrong, and but he thought I was crazy about that. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head. He said I need treatment, but I got his name led. You said I was tight, it was mostly crying, but out of the sight, to go out of my mind. I was nuts, nobody's doing the best. They said it's now like free to live part of all my crazy ideas. But I guess something's happened, I knew I was a genius. One, it's so strange when you know it's wrong. Wizard and free, you know that it was meant to be. Well, they say that I'm good enough to be tight. That's when I got into the vodka one night. I made myself the attitude, now I do. But I keep the crazy thing before I came to hell. You think I was crazy? I mean, but only crazy I was so wicked. You don't think we can tell. We don't do anything anybody likes, so why could I show you? The girl who's not a chef, you the automatic button, bell went on in my head. I had a really good say all they used to laugh at me when I refused to ride. I know some of your roses, you have no way to drive on the set. That's what you're doing. So Dear doctor, I think it's you instead. See, I get a faith to be in you. Prove that I'll have the last life on you. Instead of one head, I got two. And you know, two heads are better than one. So next we are going to share with you a tune that doesn't have any lyrics, which is the total opposite of that last one, which is full of so many lyrics. This is called With Friends. So the day you